Well, I grew up in Delano, right up the road. I actually lived with my aunt and uncle, and I had a cousin. Their son was a softball player, and he used to take me outside. I couldn't have been 7, 8 years old, and he made me catch him. And he beat me to a pulp. I'd come in that house crying. They put some big old rubber boots on me to keep my shins from getting beat up, and I'd come in the house crying, I don't want to catch, I don't want to catch. Well, anyway, I'd go to softball games with him, and they'd make me do the scoreboard, so I'd hang up. So I kind of got introduced to baseball that way. And so in the backyard of my house, I'd go out and I'd throw the ball up and hit it, and I'd visualize myself being him.
How old were you?
And so I actually kept a scorebook, and then in those days, of course, didn't have television. The only thing we ever saw was the World Series. But we'd get the paper, and so I started learning how to read the box scores. And so, I always kind of followed the Yankees because that's who everybody's favorite team was in those days. They were in the World Series every year. Of course, Mickey Mantle was always my favorite player. And so I started saving all these bubblegum cards, and I put them on the wall in my bedroom. I had Mickey Mantle and Koufax and Drysdale and all these guys on my wall. So I actually had them in the position they played. That was my dream of playing baseball. Well, then I moved to Bakersfield when I was in the 8th grade, and Bakersfield had a pro team in the California League. I would walk from where I lived, which was about, I'm going to say 3 miles every day when the team was home, and I'd go out there and watch the pro team play. Bakersfield, they were called the Bakersfield Bears. They were a farm team of the Phillies. So watching all these guys play, and so I kind of watched this, and I thought, you know what? I started getting friendly with some of the players. I sat next to the dugout and talked to them, and I always had my glove because I'm chasing foul balls. I realized these guys, they slept all day, they played baseball at night, and they got paid. And I said, sign me up. That's what I want to do. So my whole fantasy was playing baseball, not to play in the major league, but just to play baseball. In high school, I was just an average guy. I was just another guy on the team. And so had a very good team, North High School, very good team, especially defensively. We had a really good team defensively. And so no matter how bad I was pitching, they'd always save me by making plays. Well, I kept winning games. So my senior year, we played against a guy from Roosevelt and Fresno by the name of Wade Blassingame. You may remember him. He was 28-0 in high school. And he was the number one prospect in the entire United States. And at the same time, they had a kid in Long Beach by the name of Bob Bailey. The final result was I pitched against him my last high school game in Bakersfield. I got beat 4-2 in 14 innings. Okay, I pitched the whole 14 innings. He pitched 14 innings. Don't ask me how many pitches we threw.
They didn't count them back then, did they?
Oh, no, they had no idea. The coach kept saying, "You're right, yeah, I got another inning, Well, because of who he wasn't, there was like every scout in baseball was there watching this game. In about the 10th inning, his dad went over and told the coach, he said, my son hurts his arm, I'm killing you after the game. He kept sending him back out. 14 innings. So anyway, we got beat 4-2 in 14 innings. A guy by the name of Bob Engel, he was the umpire behind the home plate.
Good old Bob.
And he umpired the pro game that night. He was umpiring the county league, him and Doug Harvey. God dang it.
Like me.
Hey,
all the way from Bakersfield.
Buck Owens is from Bakersfield, as you know, and so is Merle Haggard.
Yes.
And so anyway, I lose the game 4-2, 14. Well, after the game, he had one more game. They played the Valley Championship against Hanford, beat Hanford in the Valley Championship. And so after the game, he's offered $150,000 by the Braves, because in those days they didn't have the draft. And then I was offered $1,000 by the Phillies, and I'm thinking, man, I pitched as good as that guy did, and he got $150,000, I get $1,000. Well, turns out I ended up going to Bakersfield Junior College, which was a huge break for me, because if I'd have signed out of high school, I was nowhere near ready to play pro baseball. I'd have got lost in the shuffle.